your child doesn't report you, your neighbor is going to do so. And the daughter was telling my friend, Dad, don't be silly. Hey, you dare not smack a child. My energy matches my children. I am now a British at heart. Yeah, my heart is now British. It's only left for my passport to change. She told the child, it is my father that is supposed to help me do the assignment, but my father is always watching Arsenal football. One of my Ghanaian sisters, whose manager reported her to safeguard. So she has safeguarding issues twice in a very short period of time. We took the child to a foster home. The child was there for a while. Now they said the child was not eating. So a lot of people don't know this, that there are some houses that do not accept children. Yes. Hello and welcome once again to another episode here on my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Becca. I'm a migrant nurse originally from Ghana in West Africa. I practice, I live, and I work in London. And on this channel, basically, I talk about nursing. I do lifestyle videos, a little bit of me, every good stuff, every good vibe in between. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I abandoned my 3 daughters to run to the United Kingdom. Yes, I jackpot to the United Kingdom. And this is also to tell you some realities of things that happen around raising children abroad, or to throw more light onto things that you should know before you bring your children here in the United Kingdom. But before you go on to watching this video, I don't want anybody to judge me or to call me names because I left my kids abroad to move to the UK. But I want you to watch this video up until the end and make your own informed decision. And also, if you have any suggestions, put them in the comment section and let's all learn together. Because I've had a lot of people asking me questions. We want to bring our children into the United Kingdom, but we don't know when we should be ready to bring our children. Should we bring them when we are coming? Should we bring them 6 months after? Should we bring them a year after? Your answer will be in today's video. After today's video, you'll be well informed to know when, where, how, and whatever it takes you to bring your family here into the United Kingdom. A bit of background before I go into today's video. So I've been in the UK. I've lived in the UK over 26 months without physically seeing my children throughout. I've seen them only once within this over 2 years because I visited Ghana in July and I was going to see family. I was going to see my dad who wasn't well. I also visited my children because they live actually with my parents. So when I left Ghana for the United Kingdom, they've been under the care of my parents. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I took the decision to leave them behind. Hopefully you can learn a couple of things from this video, and also to give you practical life experiences of things that have happened to people who have children here. This is not to create anxiety in anybody, but it's to tell you to know the system before you take the move. You see, in this UK, the things that we do here pertaining to childcare are different from the things that we do to our children back in Africa. Oh yes, I am telling you this for a fact. So the way we raise our kids back in Africa, or the laws surrounding childcare in Africa, is very different from the laws that surround childcare here in the UK. Here, childcare is a serious business, and if you don't look after your children properly, or if there is a little hitch between how you look after your children, you will find yourself shuffling your children between you and social services. Because if your child doesn't report you, your neighbor is going to do so. Yeah. I did a video where I told you my neighbors reported me to the police. If you haven't watched that video, you go ahead and watch that video and see how the system and structure works here in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be giving you practical experiences of things that have happened to mothers in diaspora, or to put it, parents in diaspora, having to shuffle their children with social services in today's video. Now, when I was leaving Ghana to come to the United Kingdom, my children were not that old. They were very tender. My little one had just turned 3 years. 6 days before I left Ghana, my last child turned 3 years. I have 3 daughters. And when I was leaving, my intention was either to live with them or to bring them immediately after I leave. Right. So when I came, I have a big auntie here. She is very old. She's been in the UK for over 32 years. So she is here. So we had a heart-to-heart conversation, and she exposed me to a lot of scenarios and gave me reasons why I shouldn't bring my children to the United Kingdom. At first, I didn't take this in good faith. I was kind of like, I feel like, why should I just leave my children in Africa to come to the UK? Then my parents solidified it for me. They gave me a lot of scenarios because we have a lot of family members in diaspora. I have aunties, cousins, a lot of family members in the UK, in US, and so on and so forth. So they all gave me their experiences, and then I learned from this. There are people who are in the UK or who are abroad who are stuck with their children. They wish they have somebody back home who could help them to look after their children so that they can take them back home. I personally have an auntie who is in US who at the point had to send her 2 sons back in Africa to continue their education until they were matured to a certain level before she took them back into the United States because she was struggling between her children, the police, and the social services. So you are coming to a country where children have the rights, the freedom, and everything it takes to express themselves. I visited one of my friends in his house, and then his daughter. So this friend has been in the UK for over 10 years. He has a daughter who is 11 years. They live together. I visited this friend, and the daughter was telling my friend, "Dad, don't be silly." The moment the child said that, I looked back, the African mother in me quietly looked back. I gave the child a strong stare, and I turned away. My friend didn't react in any way. Later, I asked him, "Why would you look at your child to say that?" And she said, "If you said don't be silly, she hasn't insulted me." In my mind, as an African who was new to the United Kingdom, I thought the child should be penalized for using that word. But hey, you dare not smack a child. You can correct them in a nice way by taking out some privileges from them or restricting them from having access to certain things like their phone, their iPads, their tablets. Based on that, they'll be able to learn not to do those things again. But to smack a child is a no-no. I realized that when I was moving from Africa, I am a young mom. I have a lot of energy, and my energy matches my children. So at first, they would do certain things, and I would just give it to them back to back. But recently, when I moved to Ghana to visit them, they would do the same things they used to do some years back, and I wouldn't mind them. I just look at them. I realized that my mentality has changed. I am now a British at heart. Yeah, my heart is now British. It's only left for my passport to change. But using my heart and my attitude, it's not British. I just look at them and smiled, and I'm like, just go on with whatever you are doing. As far as you are not hurting yourself, you are not harming yourself, I don't really mind. I also realized that now my children are a bit more matured. They can understand certain things. I sat them down. We talk every day on the video. Yeah, we do video calls. I sat them down. I explained certain things to them. I told them about the country they will be coming to in future, how things are and how things are different from the country that they are in. And I realized that they understand these things I was telling them now. If I had told them these things a year ago or 2 years ago, they wouldn't have accepted it like the way they are accepting them now. A colleague of mine got her daughter reported her to the school. So this my colleague is this husband actually that was reported to the school. So they have a daughter who is of school going age. The daughter went to school one day without her homework being done. And my colleague is also a permanent night nurse like myself. So most of the times, by the time she go home, she's tired. She has to do house chores. So she was relying on the husband to help the children to do the homework, assignments, and all of those bits. So the child went to school one day without doing assignments. The teachers asked the child why she didn't do the assignment. And then she told the child, "It is my father that is supposed to help me do the assignment. But my father is always watching Arsenal football." That time it was a Premier League. So every time, they were showing this Arsenal, Manchester, whatever. And the father is glued to the TV set. He doesn't have time to do homework with the child. The next thing they heard, the father has been called to the school for questioning. And then the school advised him to have time for the child and not to always watch football. Football comes after the child's need have been met. The second scenario I'm going to be giving you is one of my Ghanaian sisters whose manager reported her to safeguarding. Yes, she was reported to safeguarding because of her child. So she came to the UK first with her husband, and then they left their 2 children back home. She had a baby who was a baby. She was under 1 year, and she had a toddler. They left these children back home, came to the United Kingdom. They hustled a bit. They were stable, and then they brought the children over. I was there one day when my friend called me to discuss this matter with me. I have their permission to share this on my channel, and that is why I'm sharing. So she called me, and then she said, my manager has reported me to safeguarding. Why? Her child went to school, and before the child started school, back in Africa, we tell them a lot of things. When you are going to school, don't take toffee from your friends. Don't eat from this person's bowl. Don't eat from that person's bowl. Same mentality, same advice she gave to the child here in UK. So she told the son, when you go to school and they give you candies, don't eat from people's plate. Be careful with this, be doing that. A child doesn't understand these things. So this child went to school, naive, pure in heart. They had a party. One of the students had a party, and they sometimes share candies and things in school. So they were sharing candies and pastries and all of this bits. They gave this boy, he didn't eat it. Then the teacher was quite concerned that the child is a bit gloomy. They asked him, what is the problem? Why are you not eating why are you accepting? He didn't even accept it at all. So they asked him, why are you not accepting the candy? And then he said, naively, my mother says I shouldn't take any candies from anybody. My mother says when I come to school, I shouldn't eat from people's... Like literally everything my friend told this child relayed it onto the teacher raw. The teacher was quite concerned as to why the lady would tell the child this. They felt like she was kind of polluting the child's idea. So they raised a safeguarding, and they did a meeting and called my friend to the school. She went to the school and explained herself and said she didn't mean any harm, or she didn't do it out of bad intention, but she felt like the advice we give them back home is the same African advice we are giving them here. So anyway, the school introduced her to a course. They showed her certain things she shouldn't do, she should do blah, blah, blah. The matter was discharged. She went to work and she didn't shut her mouth. Let me use this opportunity to advise you. Let your home stay at home. Let your work stay at work. This is a sisterly advice. Yeah, you heard me. All right. So she went to work. She said the manager apparently has taken her like a little sister. So she went to work and told the manager that, hey, listen to what has happened though. My child went to school to report me, and they called me to the school that they are raising safeguarding and blah, blah, blah. They introduced me to a course. I did it and blah, blah, blah. The manager advised her. After the advice, I don't know how the manager analyzed the whole information. She raised another safeguarding against this lady. Apparently, they felt the lady doesn't have a change of mind, and she was going to penalize the child for doing that to her. For reporting her to the school authorities and blah, blah, blah. So they raised another safeguarding towards my friend. She felt very unhappy in the unit. When the safeguarding came, they didn't mention who actually reported her this time, but they told her it was from her workplace. She then knew that it was from the manager because according to her, it is only the manager she has discussed this issue with. So she has safeguarding issues twice in a very short period of time. There is also this lady who used to do my hair back in Kent. When I was in Kent, she's a hairdresser. So she had a problem. The child went to school with a mark. Apparently, according to her, she can't trace where the mark was from. Sometimes children play and then they hurt themselves without you knowing. So this child went to school with the mark. And then when they asked the child where the mark is from, she said the mother knows about the mark. Actually, they asked her whether the mother knows about the mark. She said yes. But when they asked him where the mark is from, he said he doesn't know. They felt the child was trying to be defensive, or maybe it's the mother that has harmed him and he didn't want to say it. They came straight home, social services. They took the child away from her, took the child to a foster home. This lady had 2 children. So that was the elderly one. The later one was, they took the child to a foster home. The child was there for a while. Now they said the child was not eating. He began to cry, asking for the mother till he became malnourished because he wasn't eating at all For like, he was there for a while. He became very malnourished. They took him to the GP surgery. GP said there was malnourishment. They tried to give him supplements. Still, the child was not developing. Then they asked him what they can do. The child said, I want to go back to my mother. They brought the child to the mother. They gave her conditions on how to look after the child. They took her through a course. She did them and everything. But the trauma of having to go through this, having your child taken away from you, is not easy. It's not an easy process. So I felt like if I am coming to a country like the United Kingdom, I should know what the country is like. I should get used to the culture. Since I came to the UK, I have had a lot of shock already as an adult. I am looking at it from another perspective of my children going through this same type of shock of being in this country. But today I am happy. I have learned a lot. I've known the system. I know how things work. I know how things operate. So when my children come, I know that they are going to be happy because I know that the United Kingdom is going to be safe for them. Also, a lot of people don't know this, that there are some houses that do not accept children. Yes. When I was looking for a house to live in, I told you guys I have lived in a flat before. My experience wasn't so good with living in a flat. And I know that I have children who have a lot of energy. And 3 children, if they want to make noise, oh, they can make a hell of noise. So I didn't want to be in a flat where I'll be having problems with my neighbors and social service and all of those bits, going back and forth. That is why I look for a house. So where I'm living for is now a house where I have the whole house to myself, up and down. It's me and my children. They can shout to the moon and back. As far as it doesn't go out of the house to the next house, I am good. So some of the houses here, they don't allow children. I was telling one of my friends in Canada about it and she couldn't believe it. Yes, it's true. When you are actually hunting for a house, they are going to ask you how many children are going to be living in the property. If you have a big family like me, the moment you say 3 children, they will tell you, oh, we are so sorry, the landlord does not accept children in this property. Imagine you are seeing a very beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. You feel like, oh, this flat is going to be good. You want to rent it. You call them. They ask you how many children. You say, I have 3 children. I have 2 children. Oh, we are so sorry. We don't allow children in this property. So imagine you coming to the UK as a new resident. You don't know anywhere. You don't even know that these things exist. There is not every house that they accept children in. And you are house hunting. And you already have your family here with you. And you can't get a property to rent or a place to live. Where are you going to live with your family? Where are you going to put your family? I know of a lady who did this. So she came to the UK with her family. That's the husband and a son. When she came, she was supposed to qualify for the hospital's accommodation. But because she didn't state to the employer that she was bringing a family, the accommodation they gave her was for single occupancy. So when she came, she couldn't live in that accommodation for long. They gave her a very short time to look for accommodation and to move in. When she started looking for the accommodation, they began to tell her, we are so sorry we don't allow children. We are so sorry we don't allow children. And even before you rent those type of accommodation, they want to make sure you can pay. They check your credit history. They take references. They look at your bank statement. And imagine you showing a bank statement where you have only £50 in your account. Who will rent a house to you? Nobody will rent a house to you. So it's better you come first, you know all of these things before you bring your children. Sort yourself out, get a standard and good accommodation before you attempt to bring children to make them miserable, stranded, and destitute. Also, you are coming to work. If you are coming on a tier 2 sponsorship, you are coming to work. If you are coming on the tier 4 sponsorship, you are coming to school. Whichever visa category you are coming to the UK with, you are not just coming to be idle or be a housewife or house husband to look after the children. That thing that brought you to the UK is there before the family. In as much as we try to say that our families are first, yes, but your job brought you here. Your school brought you here. So that should be your paramount priority. You should keep that because without that, you can lose your stay in the United Kingdom. Imagine you coming as a new staff. You've come with your family. The shifts here are very long. It is very difficult to finish one shift. One shift. There is a lot that goes on in one shift. On a good day, you are lucky, you can have your break. On a bad day, if you're not lucky, even your break, you will not have it. So imagine you're coming to a new country where nobody knows you. You're coming to work with a new manager, a new employer, and then you are coming to set your rules to say that, okay, give me this shift. Tomorrow, give me that shift. I don't want to work on this day. I want to work on weekend. I don't want to work on night. I don't want to work on bank holiday. It is not every manager that will take that. Some managers are very cooperative. A lot of them will understand you because they shouldn't discriminate against you because of your family or because of any child. That is unfair. But a lot people, some will not tolerate it. Some will not tolerate it for you to every day to be giving an excuse about your child and your child and your child and your child. No. But I feel like when you come first and you work with them for a while, they will love you, they will know you, they'll form good relationship with you, you have a good bond with your employer, you have good relationship with your colleagues and your friends. At that point, if you are asking anything from them, it's not difficult. So you can tell them, okay, I used to work very hard, I was here by myself, but now I'm going to get a family and I want you guys to do this and this and this for me. That it is easy for them to understand because it is your circumstances that have changed. Otherwise, you wouldn't have changed. Although there are some disadvantages of leaving your children back home. For example, you miss their milestones, you miss who they are, you miss seeing them growing, those milestones. Also, the relationship between you, if you are not dedicated to be calling them every day. Me, I call my family every blessed day on video. I see them, I talk to them, so we are not too detached. If you see them on video every day, there is still, it's not like being with them physically. So that gap is there. Also, you spend a lot of money when your children are back home and you are here. Because you are spending here already, you are spending a lot of money here, paying your bills, sorting yourself out. They are there. You are sending money again. Maybe your children attend international school back home. You need to give them luxury. Like myself, my children, they attend primary international schools back home because I wanted that standard. Yeah. They all use mobile phone. They are living with my parents. My parents' house is very massive, so they have that freedom to move about. You don't have only to take care of your children. Obviously, those that are looking after your children, also, you have to support them. I have a nanny who helps my mother to look after the children. I have to support the nanny as well. So it is very expensive keeping children back home because here education is free. School is free. Healthcare is free. So if they are sick, you're not going to think about taking them to GP surgery or this or that. You know that you are assured that their healthcare is free. But apart from that, there are a lot of things that you should get used to. So I'm not saying leave your children in Africa or abroad like myself. But look at your circumstances, look at your situation, make proper plans and adjustments for the children before you bring them. Make sure that you have thrown away all the African energy in you as a parent before you bring your children here so that you have a safe settlement with your children. You don't have to shuffle your children between you and social services. If you have a spouse, you guys know how to put things together. If this one is not at home, this one can be at home, because you know that you can't leave a child on their own unattended to until they attain certain age. So you know that you and your spouse are going to be shuffling. Okay, today you are not home, tomorrow I'm the one that is home, and you make those arrangements before the children come. Because even when you're applying for visa and the children are of school going age, they ask you all of these questions. Me, my children's visa was refused. So I applied for their visa for them to come to the UK. Their visa was refused. I will talk about that in a separate video. Their visa was refused because of 1 or 2 or 3 reasons. And you have to know, put arrangements in place before you bring them into the United Kingdom. Because now, because of the immigration rules, a lot of things are not going in favor for dependents, children, dependents of migrants. So you have to be careful, you have to be vigilant, open your eyes, do the right thing before you bring your children to the United Kingdom. Now I feel like I am mentally ready, I'm physically ready, I am ready in all aspects of life. And if my children come here, I wouldn't have any problem with them. And now I feel it is the right time to bring my children. I took over 2 years to do it. You may take 6 months to do it. Somebody may take 9 months to do it. Somebody may take a year to do it. Whatever time you take to do it, just know that you are not going to have any problems once your children are here with you in the United Kingdom. I just feel like sharing with you guys. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section. If this video has been of benefit to you, smash the like button for this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on your post notification bell icon so that anytime your darling uploads a video, you'll be notified and be able to watch. Until we meet again in my next video, guys, bye.